Hey folks, it's Corey from Rockpile. How you going? So, this is for the people that are kind of been following my little ankle surgery update videos and want to know a little bit more about what's going on. Well, got some good news for you guys and girls, of course. 12 weeks and 3 days ago, I had an operation on my foot. Now, before I'd had that done, I did a little video explaining to you guys kind of what's going to happen with me foot. I was standing in this exact same position, cutting that tree before my surgery. As far as surgeries go and healing goes, it's gone exceptionally well. The only thing that the doctor said really was that at the 12-week x-ray, he would have liked to have seen a bit more healing between the two bone joints, but he was happy with the amount that it had healed. He also told me that I can get rid of these. So we'll get rid of them, and I can walk. Well, it is walking, technically, so I can walk with the boot on, as you can see. I can walk this way, and I can walk that. I can walk that way, and I can even walk this way, and that way. So, getting rid of them is like a bonus. That's like one of my goals. Now, you may remember I set some goals. I had a 3-month goal and a 6-month goal, and this is what I said. So my goals are kind of, at the 3-month mark, I'd like to be able to walk to the toilet from the bedroom. I know this is probably like what most of you guys do, but I'd like to walk from the bedroom to the toilet with my moon boot without crutches. That's like a goal. The 6-month goal is I'd like to be able to walk down our ramp and down some stairs into the backyard. So I'll be glad to tell you, at the 12-week mark, which was technically 11 weeks and 3 days, not that I'm counting, I was able to walk to the toilet on my own without the boot. So that was like a pretty intense moment, like just being so restricted. I mean, crutches are not, you can still get around on crutches, you know what I mean? You can still get around with your boot on, but just being, I felt like I was restricted. It's very hard to do stuff with crutches, you know, like Mrs. RP comes home with all the food shopping. Yeah, sure, I'll just grab those 3 bags of shopping and carry them inside like I normally did. Very hard to do on crutches. So, 3-month goal, made it to the toilet successfully on my own. So I had a 6-month goal, which was to walk around the backyard, go and let the chickens out, throw the toy for the dog, you know, and be able to walk around. When I say the backyard, I don't just mean like the backyard. I mean like walk out, you know, out to Rockpile and just go, oh, there's my excavator I haven't driven for, 4 months, and there's that rock that I left there the other month. You know, just look at stuff and go, oh, this is awesome, you know. And I can do that. And that's like 2.5 months, ahead of schedule. It's good. I'm getting a little bit misty. Anyway, I'm going to do a little walking demonstration over to my favourite rock and do a bit of a lean. Watch out for that random crutch on the ground that's we don't need anymore. Mr. Rock Pile. Let's talk about some new goals. We have been setting some goals. We've been talking about my goals over the past few weeks, and more so after the 12-week x-ray. I am due to go back for a 3-month x-ray, which will be mid-August, and that will determine a lot of how our goal plan wants to pan out. Because if the doctor says your healing is, mint, looking good, you can really get back into the swing of things. That's good. If he says, look, it's a bit on the light side, just take it easy for another month or so, that'll determine the outcome. So, mid-August is a 3-month x-ray. I've got a plan that I want to go back to start work on the 2nd of September. Monday the 2nd of September. I'm lucky enough to work for like a guy, like a family, that is very nice to work for, I must say. But he has said, just come back when you can, and if you can only do 2 hours today, and you need a day off tomorrow, and then 3 hours the next day, or you can do 4 hours today, and you need a bit of time off because it's like you're getting a bit aggravated in the foot, more than willing to accommodate those hours. So that's awesome. So that's my plan. Monday the 2nd of September, I'm going to try and get back to do stuff. I've also been working with the physio. Saw her the first time about a week ago. She's very happy with the movement that I have, which is very limited. You imagine your main ankle joint is right now fused and you can't move it, so you've only got movement in essentially those toes, metacarpals, tarsals, the ones, Gyp rocker, not doctor. I know I used that before, but we're going to use it again. Right, so they have a bit of movement in them, and the idea is to try and increase their strength and their movement to give me a bit more flex when I walk. And your heel bone still moves like a little bit. I know that looks... We're not doing like the chickens, whatever. So another goal that I'm working with the physio is my capabilities to lift and carry stuff, right? So I think I said in the last video, not the last one, but the pre-surgery one, right? Chucking a 30 kilo bag of whatever, cement or feed or whatever on your shoulder and walking with it. Well, every time you walk onto one foot, all that pressure goes through one foot. So I want to be able to work that strength back into my foot and know that I can comfortably, lift something and move something and just make my life generally easier. So I'm not asking Mrs. RP to lift and move everything over 10 kilos for me. I want to talk about when I got home from hospital and how those first few weeks played out. It was pretty tough. But basically I got home on a Thursday afternoon. It was a long day Thursday. The whole discharge thing of the hospital was very testing. It was. We'll just leave it at that. We made it home and I had a walking frame, like those actual little frames that you see grandma on the TVs walking with. I had one of them. So we got up the ramp. That was its first little challenge, was getting up the couple of steps and up the ramp. So we did that, and then I basically went and laid on the bed, and I spent probably 23 hours a day on the bed with my foot elevated on this big wedge type pillow, and that also acted as like a guard for Dozer, because he just wanted to be with me on the bed, but he's also very quick to jump off the bed when something happens. Now everything basically just come down to Amanda doing everything for me, apart from those two things that you're thinking. I could still manage to do them on my own, even with my leg just not elevated, but just on the ground a little. Okay, so don't worry about that. She used to bring me breakfast, make my lunch, make my dinner, bring it all to me. The first 2 weeks, I didn't leave the bedroom pretty much, apart from to go to the toilet and have a shower. Now, showering was a challenge, definitely. It's a little bit, it sort of plays with your mind a little, you know, like it just makes you realise how capable you are as a human to do all this stuff, but then all of a sudden, when you need like an injury to heal, and you can't, rest that weight on the ground, and you can't use your leg to stand on, and, you need a frame or crutches to walk, it really limits you to what you can do, and it plays a few tricks in your head. But I had a healthy diet of fresh made bone broth every day. I love my cold meat and salad sandwiches on fresh bread, so that was my lunch. Snacks, basically a bit of fruit in the arvo, and then dinner was a smaller size dinner, just whatever got cooked on the night. And if you want to check out some meal prep videos, I'll just drop this bomb in there. You want to check out some meal prep videos, check out another video here of Amanda preparing for Corey coming home. Sorry, I thought summer had come down. So that was good. That was great. I stopped drinking alcohol altogether because I drink beer, right? Maybe too much beer, maybe not enough. Who really knows? But I stopped drinking beer, alcohol on the 1 week before I went into surgery, and I haven't had any alcohol since. I think that helped with the healing as well, because I don't picture you really want to just be lounging in bed all day, like ringing your little bell to get your wife who's working to bring you a cold beer every 20 minutes. That wouldn't have gone well. So yeah, big thanks to Mrs. RP for that. And then went back in at the 2 week mark after that, got my cast on, stitches out, all looked good. Made the transition to crutches, which was a lot better than a frame, because I could actually like manoeuvre around a bit. I did find them difficult to start with, but then once I got going, I was all right, so I could move from the bed out to the couch, watch a few movies on the TV, just in the lounge room, a bit more, mental stimulation, because you're out in a bigger area, a bit of a different change of scenery type thing. Yeah, and that those first 2 weeks, I said I didn't leave the house. Like, literally did not step outside the house. And then once I got my cast on and my crutches, I started to go out onto our deck, sit in the sun on the deck watching the chickens. That was like such a little thing, but it was very enjoyable when you can't do it you kind of take it for granted, And then there's the mental challenge. Mentally, it's very tough having an area of land when you kind of when you're living, say, this homestead life, like we don't have very many animals at all. Right, but we still have animals to look after, and they come first every morning. So Amanda's first job was to make sure all the animals had food and water for the morning, and then, keep an eye on them during the day. Whereas I couldn't do that. And that was pretty tough, just seeing how much you rely on someone else to do stuff for you when you can't do something. And I guess that kind of leads down. I mean, I hit some pretty lows. I had some days where I was in tears, I was pretty sad some days. It was, and all I had was, Mrs. RP to confide in, and yeah, we'd just hug it out and I'd cry it out, and, the day keeps going. The sun still comes up the next day. So mentally challenging, definitely. And I think that led us down to kind of a discussion we had the other day about if you're on a homestead and it's you and your wife, you know, your partner, whatever, there's two of you, and you run your suburban homestead on a 500 square metre block, or you're running your, 5,000 acre farm, and one of you has an injury that inhibits you from doing anything, are you prepared for that? Like this was by choice. I chose to get this done. It's been many years and I wanted to get it done, right? But if you have an accident and you're doing, say, 100% of the stuff 100% of the time, and then all of a sudden you can't do that, it kind of really made us think about, this our homestead, like Rockpile, as to that's part of the reasons why we don't want to be, and we've never really been overcommitted to, I guess, mainly animals really, because, the land can take care of itself. You don't need to look after that every day. But animals, they come first, and they need to be looked after, and they need to be moved, and they need, they may get sick and they need looking after. Kind of like me, and when there's only one of you doing all that, and you've got to work as well, because it comes down to the income as well, like it can be tough. Just some things to think about, I guess. So I guess I'm trying to say that when you're building a homestead, right, don't build it in such a way that it requires your input 100% of the time, because there will come a time when you can't do that 100%, and then your homestead will suffer for it. So I don't know what percentage I would call our homestead in what it takes to maintain, but I reckon if you said 2 hours a day would pretty much cover all the outside chores, especially this time of year when nothing's really growing. When stuff's green, I like to mow. Like mowing is kind of my peaceful time. Put some plugs in and just mow. I like mowing, but yeah, so just take that into consideration, I guess, when you're planning stuff, and don't get injured. And don't follow my videos for safety. And that you'll probably be all right. Mainly the grinder, always use a guard on the grinder. Just saying. Can't believe your unsociable cow hasn't come down here yet.
Hey, Summer.
Well, you're hanging out with, she's hanging out with the two dogs up there?
I think so, yeah.
Ah.
She's like, I don't want to hang out with the humans. I want to hang out with this little mini brown cow.
That miniature brown cow, that's a hippo. Yeah. So, that's Corey's update. Or that's, Rockpile update. And I really appreciate you listening to what I was saying. A lot of it's come from here, apart from the few odd jokes that I like to slip in because they just kind of get made up, But, from the heart, yep, it was up and down, but you just got to look up and look forward. And that's how we go around here, The sun will come up tomorrow morning. It'll be another beautiful morning. I'll be another, from now, I'll be another 24 hours stronger and 24 hours in the healing, and up and away. Before you know it, I'll be chucking that pack of star pickets on my shoulder, and I'll have the post driver in one hand because I can lift it with one hand. And I'll be off, throwing pickets in, driving them in, one after the other, just like that. And I'd like to thank each and every person that sent us a message, dropped a comment about me getting better, happy healing, all that stuff. That's very nice of you, and we really appreciate it. We feel that in here. I'd like to thank family, mum and dad, for just being there to help out, talk to, you know, that I really appreciate that. And just friends and family in general, you know, like just that conversation you can have when, you know, it might only be a 2-minute conversation, but you know, at the end of it, you feel charged up, you know, you feel like, oh, and I thank everyone for that, and I thank you for that. And on that note, bye-bye. Was that too sudden for a bye-bye? I don't know. But thank you very much, guys, for joining us. And you never know. You might see us this afternoon in a live, Rockpole Live. If you got any questions, you can ask them in that. All right? See you later.